Terranostent is our first map on the upper left-hand side. Maybe again the strongest orc in the world is Lin. And in the bottom right, he said, in this matchup, I am 2 to 3 power levels above everyone else. Confidence is not an issue for him. He's 1-2-0.
And we talked about it before, the strategy, the first hero picks here, not so easy to predict, and Terranostent being such a good expansion map, expecting a Crypt Lord, not too unlikely, but it's not a Crypt Lord. It's a DK Ted Fiend build, so standard play out of the Undead. And for Lin, we have the Farseer trying to go for Lightning Shield early. That, however, is scouted. Lin scouting himself with a Peon. That's a 2-burrow tech with a shop, with a Peon Scout, aka super late of attack. Not usually what you want to have when you're going up against DK Stamp.
The shop got killed, Remo! The Acolyte woke up the creeps at the shop, so first bit of destruction already done. The Acolyte fell for it, so there is a corpse for 90 seconds now. Might come in handy, but the early game of Lin is already a little disrupted, and it's a slight psychological lead maybe for the Necromancer.
Can he still pull off the Lightning Shield here? It should work out. Yes. Does, however, take a little bit longer. A little bit delayed, but still pretty cleanly executed. 1-0. I think he tried with a Lightning Shield there as well, but failed. Can still creep the camp. However, it will take a little bit longer. Perhaps a little more mana. Gets the big healing. And the gauntlets. Both taking the same camp. The skeletons here with the normal damage against the medium armor works out, but of course will be a little bit faster for Lin. Oh, he's going for the Shadow Priest right away. Threatening to steal. How good is 1-0 at securing these last hits, by the way?
It's absolutely insane. The way he played it with the Crypt Lord against Fly was already masterclass level. 3-4 pump fakes, not a problem at all. So does the Shadow Priest survive against the coil? If it falls, okay, it's a little bit of an experience gain for 1-0. It's of course an investment that didn't pay off. It could also be, a completely depleted Death Knight after 3 minutes 30 seconds.
Yeah, looks like a happy game right now, using all the coils in the early to find kills and creep as fast as you possibly can. Farseer leveling up here really well. If the Farseer gets to level 3 fast, you can use that strength very well to establish a safe tier 2 expansion with a TC and then trying to mass. 1-0 is trying to keep up with the creep speed rather than being aggressive. Still scouting in the middle with the Fiend, but I doubt he's going to be able to steal anything here.
Yeah, that would be bonkers, even for 1-2-0. There's Chain Lightning to secure things. There's a Claws of Attack, the second one actually. Is a little slot starved here. Interesting approach by 1-2-0 to take experience away from Lin's base. And okay, Berserker very early on going to Lin as well. So not the biggest investment on grunts, but rather mercenaries.
Did he just send out a peon to get the Berserker? Was he worried that 1-0 was going to get it? That would be weird. Oh, the Fiend getting caught. That one's dead.
That's a big loss. That's not supposed to happen. Oh, wait. Is the wolf enough?
Yeah, it's gonna die.
A town is under siege.
Oh, look at the block in the main. The peon blocks the DK, so even the Berserker is saved. Oh my god, Lin.
Sick. It's still Unholy Aura. Can he catch up? Maybe. This is high level Undead Orc right here. Lich second Slaughterhouse tier 2 done. Of course, the Fiend lost hurt. The Farseer is already level 3. Very, very powerful with the 2 claws. Of course, a lot of mana to spend with the Potion of Greater Mana. These level 2 wolves plus this potion is not good news for 1-0.
Oh, ring on the ground. Has to use the speed scroll to get it. 70 HP is the kill threshold that is easily dodged. Even the block from the wolves. Look at the damage going on to the DK.
A player's forces are under
Yeah,
attack.
needs 3 hits or something.
Insanely strong game.
He used that half an hour he had between the second semi-final and the grand final very, very, very well. Two fiends dealing with the wolves, but the wolves are constantly causing trouble. They might be a key in this matchup, and now Lin is turning it around. Forces a block on the DK, so he has to move away, while, again, no immediate tier 3 rush by Lin. It's the TC, and we know what that means. Expansion down the road, while 120 is powering up to tier 3.
Yeah, 120 is getting punished really heavily for his early game decisions. He cancelled the shop of the Orc, deciding then to not be aggressive, but to rather creep and then fall behind in levels. Questionable, certainly. If he had been aggressive instead, this would have been a low-level Farseer and a much easier game. This Farseer is level 3.5 with full mana. He can apply so much pressure by insane amounts of space for his TC.
There was not too much experience stolen, just a little green camp in the north. I think it was the last hit by Lin. I'm not too sure. Secures this one right here. Wow, so much pressure. Finally, the statue is coming out to help out a little. Two fiends hurt, DK hurt. Of course, there's always the potion if he needs it. But just the Farseer alone, you said it, creating a lot of space.
This time even comes in with a chain lightning. More kills prevented. This is such an amazing space creating play. Just wonderful.
Isn't
And
it?
120, he asked for this by allowing the Farseer to creep as much as he did and losing a lot of HP and mana himself. This is basically the dream game with the Farseer Expo style.
Isn't it crazy? Just half an hour ago, we saw 120 playing against another Orc great of the history of this game and Fly, and it was an absolute demolition. He was the Undead wrecking ball, and Lin finds an answer. It's a very, very different style, of course. Very different first heroes. Very different approach to the game. Last hit again. DK got it. Lich has Nova now. But yeah, it looks so different.
Yeah, deciding not to play Cryptlord here. On Terra's stand, Cryptlord can absolutely work out well with the expansion. But I guess the thing is, the Orc can also really easily counter-expand. Perhaps for that reason, 120 decided to play differently. And this is definitely a lead for Lin, but it's far from over. TC is going to reach level 3 here soon, but the expansion isn't quite finished yet. It has been scouted now with a skeleton. Confirmed more than anything else. Of course, 120 knew this was extremely likely. And the Farseer again, keeping tabs on the opponent so well. This is what Lin already does so masterfully against human all the time. And now we see it also against Undead.
Dark Ranger, third hero, doesn't want to deal with the Stomp and the Chain Lightning. How far away are we from Destroyers? That's a game changer in this matchup. Not too far, to be honest. 3-2 levels, but we might have the first big
that
fight
Chain
here.
Lightning was level 3. Very good. Is Lin gonna go in? Kind of dangerous with the low HP TC, but he does have the invul, and he knows there's no silence. Destroyer now finishing. Anti-air looking not that great with only 2 piercing damage units. Big item for 120. Big invul potion can have certainly a strong effect. Oh, Kolinova coming in aggressively. Headhunter taken out right away. 2 destroyers up in the air, and Lin has to run.
Yeah, but it's fine for him, right? He just wants to buy time. And that time got him the Great Hall. And a burrow there. He can power up. Soon to be 70. Kodo is out. More headhunters. He needs to overwhelm with mass as he's tier 2. His opponent is tier 3. Book of the Dead. There is no dispel for Lin. This book can be very, very handy for 120. Not as good as a Mana Stone, obviously, but still a decent find. 120 is not going to spend much time on 50 supply. He's going to power up soon. Oh, lots of skeletons here. Could feed some experience.
A player's forces are under
Yeah, 120 just grabbed 3 big camps in the time span where Lin got none. Lin got his expansion up, but it's not just about supply numbers, it's also about hero levels. Those are crucially important. Lin is gonna get ahead in supply here, but he's falling further behind in hero strength. Lich is gonna get level 3. He found the flute, by the way.
Yeah.
And that Book of the Dead could absolutely be tremendously strong. The Dark Ranger now did reach level 2, so now she's got Silence and Black Arrow. And behind this, you have an expansion coming up for 120.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I just showed the graph on the broadcast. It was a 700 XP swing. Of course, Lin is able to catch up at least a little bit. Scourge Bone Chimes for him can be great. It's still on the ground. The TC gets it last second before he's going to be beamed up. But now he's so far away from the Undead expansion.
Yeah, that's pretty much the Undead Expo up. And it seems like Lin wasn't expecting it at all. It's really easy to scout this with just one single wolf, but he didn't. And that's 2 more big cams going to 1-0. It's going to be DK level 4, a big mana potion, so many consumable items, and this is the perfect position to have this as well. 1-0 knows if a push comes in from the orc, if he holds that one single push, he's going to be looking in a great position. And to hold that one single push, he's got Book of the Dead, healing, mana, and invul push.
Yeah. And Silence now as well as the Dark Ranger is level 2, starting off with Black Arrow. The Necromancer, staying true to his name, constantly sending skeletons to scout, to harass, to cause a little trouble. This is what made him so strong and so famous in the Asian Warcraft scene.
Alright, in we go. TC looking for the big connection. Silence is perfectly in time. He was mid-animation. Not gonna break through it with the invul potion. That would be a little risky. The Book of the Dead, perfectly placed. Destroyer, first one getting taken out. Nova hits the backline though. Stomp hitting decently, but it's mostly the skeletons, not the Lich, not the Fiends. Damage output still good. Boros coming in perfectly as well. The next Stomp hits well. TC did a good job right there, but he's only got one single Stomp left now. Lin's army is quickly starting to disappear. TC gets the level 4, gets off a Devour, but that's it with the mana. TC can use no more spells. It's only the Farseer with a bit of mana left, whereas 1-0 has so much still left in the tank.
Lin is getting destroyed. The area of effect spells, Chain Lightning, Storm, all ended up on the skeletons, not on the army. Just to get rid of it because they were so scary. The skeleton archers were dealing with the wyvern. It was so much, I'm dare to say meat, but rather bone, protecting the real value army of 1-0, and now he has a 16 supply lead. His heroes are looking good. He can go for offensive coils, is still safe with the potions, and he just keeps on slaughtering.
Yeah, 1-0. How did he turn this game around so fast? This was definitely not a good early, but somehow Lin just didn't come online in time. Oh, gets one kill there. For once a coil misses, but he's got many more of them still left thanks to the big mana potion. The heroes are really starting to take over. Gonna get another fiend kill here. But the thing is, 1-0 can reproduce so easily. That expansion is fully mine and gonna be very secure soon. Trying to force a TP out here, trying to force out this DK, but he's got Death Pact. And he's using it right there. 1-0 is here to stay and here to claim the first map.
How many important moves is 1-0 doing? Gets the Kodo, gets the Fiend, saves the Fiend, unburrows, keeps them all safe. And he's just raining dominance in the air. The Destroyer is so good. Skeletons once again sent to the expansion. Takes out the shop now. How is he supposed to heal and get mana? The triple claws don't work. 1-0, 1-0 on Terranas.
Wow. And that's a scary proposition for the rest of the match, because this Farseer TC tier 2 strat against the top undeads doesn't necessarily work so well anymore, but when you have a good early game, you're supposed to still be able to pull off a win right there. That was a great early game for Lin, but still, he doesn't get there in time. And 1-0, with all of his experience, he rides it out to the late game where you will just get outscaled with the Undead tier 3 triple hero.
Yeah, 1-0 sent a very strong message in the interview earlier. He said, "Come at me, pressure me, I'm ready for you." And it looked like Lin answered that very strongly. He was pressuring after creeping a bunch. He was doing pretty well. He was slowing down the creeping of 1-0. He was expanding. But after that, 1-0, like you said, he just kind of hung in there, crept himself, got his expansion up. And once he gets to that bigger tier 3 army, even just like 60 supply with Destroyers and Fiends, his micro is just insane. He's so solid. He'll never make like a big mistake of clumping up too much, getting everything stomped. The silences will be on point. The coils will be perfect. Even though one of them missed, that was more on Lin's part, that the execution was good. I gotta say, these items though, like get your cat a new house, get him a bigger house, because true shot, greater mana, like he keeps on getting really, really good items, and I think that's a big part of what's been helping him do well in those games too.
Well, if you creep 8 spots in like 3 minutes, then there will be some good drops, mostly. Let's take a little bit of a break here to give Lin some time to rethink his strategy. Expo, again, didn't work. Be back in 3 minutes. Back we are, grand final, DreamHack fall. And 1-0 for the Necromancer. What a strong performance. Todd, is it time to ask the coach, or should we save that for later?
Well, it's my time to talk now because I'm not casting the game. So we can ask maybe the coach as the game is starting in a little bit. But what I would say personally is that now we enter a very weird dynamic where I wonder if Lin starts losing faith in Farseer, because we thought he was doing well last game and then everything fell apart. So it's tricky on Conceal Hill, right? You can go Blade Master, but usually you'll see Farseer more often on this map with like a tier 2 expand and just like that standard style. But 1-2-0 just looks, he makes Farseer look useless almost. Yeah. You know, like there was 3 claws, there was a bunch of mana to work with. So it's tricky. Lind needs to stay in this mentally because 1-2-0 is on point today. He's got that, he just looks invincible almost against Orc. He hasn't dropped a map yet. So let's see what Lind can do.
That is very, very true. 1-2-0 is 4-0 against Fly and Lin today. That's insane. Let's see how long it can keep this streak up. We go on to Concealed Hill. We have arrived, Remo, map number 2. First one was a 1-2-0 pick, and now we go into Lin territory.
Concealed Hill, a map that can be fairly good for Orc, but this is where my fear for Lin comes in. This is not a really good Blade Master map. This is not a really good tier 3 triple hero map. This map is mostly good for Farseer, TC, tier 2 Expo, Mass. That is exactly the strat that Lin just played. And with a super strong opening, he still got destroyed.
Yeah.
So what the hell is he gonna do now? Is he gonna trust once more into the Farseer? No. Blade Master it is. And this is not, you know, an unplayable Blade Master map. But it's not a very good one, because you can't get level 3 too easily. There's not too many claws in here. And especially, the Shadow Hunter and TC creeping is hard. That's the biggest deal. Normally, you want to be able to beef up your Blade Master early, get level 3 fast, and then bully the Undead on tier 2 to make sure your Shadow and TC get the levels. Because late game Orc is way more reliant on Shadow and TC being leveled. If you find yourself in a tier 3 fight with a Shadow Hunter before level 3, you're gonna most likely lose that fight. It's very, very bad for the Orc. Whereas the Undead is way better off with lower levels. DK, of course, will need to be level 3, yes. But the Lich by no means has to be level 3. There's certain power spikes we need to keep in mind here in this matchup as these great players meet. If Lin makes it to 50 supply, maybe even 60, with 3-3-2 heroes or 4-3-3 heroes, then he's looking really good. But before that time, the Undead will be scary once we reach tier 3.
Yeah, a little flashback to the next spring finals where these two met. It was a 2-0 for 1-2-0 there, and then Lin switched it up and didn't go for his Expo play anymore, and then things looked way better. Got 3 maps in a row, and that was the crucial change. Moving away from the tier 2 expansion, moving away from the Farseer, TC, Blade Master, TC, whatever tier 2 strat he wanted to have. But yeah, on this map, Farseer is a lot more common by the likes of Focus, and the Blade Master is trying to find the Undead. And was he banking on the fact that it's a Crypt Lord and expands and move down there?
Yeah, he was checking for it. He was covering that option. Sees it's not the case, so now he can swerve over to plan B, which is the Merchant. With a nice Windwalk usage, he can prevent the inner fire, and with that, this camp is pretty easy to creep. Slight mistake here by 1-0, I think. Not scouting for this. There should ideally be a skeleton here, but with that not being the case, the Blade Master gets level 2 quite freely, gets 2 nice items, 1 bought, 1 found, and takes a camp away from the Undead.
Yeah, not bad. 1-0 so far. Was quite happy to not be harassed. Very rare to not have wolves in your face. Needs the sea turtle though. Gets the sea turtle. Can he deny the skeleton? Don't think so. And yeah, now the bullying begins.
Yeah, and here lies the delicate balance of playing the early game perfectly. The Blade Master wants to do a bit of damage, threaten the DK a little, force some mana out of him, ideally steal last hits, but it's also very important to try to get level 3. If you don't get level 3, the Undead is going to have much easier of an early, and your Shadow could have much harder of a time. Early Sacrificial Skull, the Blade Master scouts for it, Oh my god, 1-0. What are you doing here, bro?
Is he tier 2 expanding, stays on tier 2, goes for his Banshees again? Because that's like the third strategy that we didn't talk about before or too much. Not only DK standard tier 3, not only Crypt Lord expansion, but also standard tier 2 Banshee 60 supply.
And he doesn't even have to go for it. I mean, the Scout Acolyte is still alive from the early game. It's not an extra investment. So he spent 50 gold for a possible expansion. And if it's scouted, if it doesn't work out, then he at least got some healing out of it. Also, this was a lot of time where the Blade Master was sharking around, not creeping. This is just a really smart play and non-committal. You don't have to go for it, but now with a Blight Skull there, there's always the possibility to do so if you want.
Yeah, and if everything goes wrong, you can use it for creeping. Like, it's not completely useless. Blade Master is +8, so these items definitely not useless at all. There's a Watch Award for Lin, so he knows exactly what's up. He sees his opponent is going to the natural once again, and Lin's Blade Master looks healthy and fueled up enough to contest this once again.
Oh wow, he actually... I don't know if he was expecting the sentry here. I believe he was. Takes that one out, so no more vision for free here anymore. Blade Master mana, though, still looking good. If he steals the Overseer, he will be very close to the level up. But I think, yeah, Lin knows 1-0 will be checking for that one, so he rather goes for the small one. And now we have the Shadow Hunter coming out. On ladder, you will see a lot of orcs trying to run across the map with Hex and Speed Scrolls trying to look for fiend kills. But that's a bad play. That can only work against bad undeads, which 1-0 certainly is not. The Shadow Hunter, as I mentioned earlier, needs to level. Needs to make sure he gets level 3 quickly to hold on in the late game. And the Blade Master, with only level 2, again, can't pressure so well, but he did a good job retaining his mana pool, so he's still doing what he's supposed to. Oh, and might even get a Slaughterhouse cancel. That's excellent.
How do you know that he works against bad undeads?
Yeah, you know.
Huh?
I don't know, just a feeling, Todd. Just a feeling.
Ghouls are coming in to do a little bit of damage, but you can't save... Oh, can you save the Slaughterhouse somehow? Not really, it's just right-click. It just wants to do a little bit more damage. It's about every single tiny hit here that can make the difference. No Nova, so it should be fine. So Slaughterhouse has to be rebuilt. This is a later arrival of statues, but he canceled the expansion plans. It's double tier 3, which is kind of rare to see in these days, but very explosive and very crazy late game coming up.
Skeleton scouting, as always, on point. Lin might be tempted right now to be aggressive, but that would probably not work out too well. This DK has plenty of mana for healing, albeit not quite yet the level up to level 3. But the Skeleton scouting, always making sure he sees where the Shadow is. Shadow is not level 3 yet. This means you don't want to fight. But the Blade would love to steal the last hit over here, or if not that, then at least do some good damage.
He gets the Mud Golem.
Without even Windwalk.
And 1-0 was playing so well around it against Fly and against Lin on Terranar Stand, so this is a big accomplishment. Or is 1-0 getting sloppy? To me, it didn't feel like it at all. So, rather an accomplishment for Lin, I'd say. Tier 3 is done for him. We're gonna get the TC, needs more creeping, of course.
Now, honestly, this all goes back to the Merchant being stolen, and 1-0 not looking for it with a Skeleton Scout. If he had seen it, if he had stolen last hits, this would have made for a way different early, and then a way different mid-game. But now Lin has really played a masterful game over here. He's gonna get the Ogre Lord steal as well. 1-0 not really in a position strong enough to contest this. He knows about it with the skeleton, but... Okay, don't tell me he gets the last hit here.
No. Unholy Aura. This is gonna be a very, very, very fast orc army. And it seems to be true that the old tier 3 standard orc is the strongest style against 1-2-0.
There we go, Shadow level 3. And that is where Lin could be confident to fight, but doesn't even want to yet. He's waiting for the TC, he's got the Crystal Orb, or the Orb of Lightning. 1-2-0 is really far out on the map. And I think Lin is being overly cautious right now. This should be a great fight for Lin. An amazing one.
This could potentially just be the end. The TC has Stomp. Of course, the Fiends are split and there's End Snare. So this might... Oh my. This is a disaster. One fiend down. The second one will be falling soon. Blade Master has to step out of the fight for a second. Kodo about to munch as well.
Yeah, the Lich may not need level 3 for the late game fight, but he really wants level 2, that's for certain. Wonder just simply doesn't have the firepower here to take anything out against the level 2 heal wave. He's losing the statue as well.
Crazy.
And Len with a perfect game is giving 1-0 nothing to work with.
Yeah, I think the clean sheet is getting dirty here. Oh my, the Lich. The damage isn't that crazy, but you have to respect it, and so does 1-0. Pit Lord, Howl of Terror, needs immediate help against this Orc army.
Now with the Orb of Lightning taking out more and more targets, the only thing that Lin didn't do perfectly was bring a Dust, but he's got a Sentry, so he doesn't even need it. Should be able to take out another Fiend, going for the Lich now with the Ensnare coming in. Stomp! In will save the Lich for a second. Suddenly the TC's in trouble. Wait a minute. With a coil he can get this kill. But even without it, actually 1-0 manages. No way. Don't tell me, 1-0, that you're fighting your way back into this fight.
We thought so, WGTL, remember? Against LP Club, but here's the Lich kill with the backstab. The DK was hexed perfectly. And no, the answer is no, he doesn't. Lin takes the 1-1.
And those Farseer games, I think they might be out of the question. After a game like this, he made Blade look so strong on a map where at times it can feel a little tricky to go for Blade Master and Conceal Heal. So do we only see Blade Master going forward? In which case, do we see a Creep Lord to try and come back out and counter it? This gets more and more interesting. And it's not a best of 3, guys. Yes, I stole that one from you, Remo.
It absolutely is, and lots of map variety here gives us a lot of strategic variety. Both players win their maps. Terranas goes to 1-0, Concealed Hill goes to Lin. So the next one is Northern Isles, and that is supposed to be the home of the Undead. 1-0 can claim match points in the next one. Be right back. third map of the grand final of DreamHack Fall. We're getting ready. After this map, we're gonna have match points for one of these great, amazing players. Lin 1, 1201. Todd, where's the series going now?
Well, the question is, what heroes do we see? We know we're going to another isle, but maybe do we see Papa Roach come out here for an attempt to counter the Blade Master that we think might be coming? I mean, there's big mind games to play on both sides. 120 is just so good at both sides, the Creep Lord or the Death Knight. Lin, same thing with Farseer or Blade, but Farseer hasn't looked very good so far in this series. Was it because of the hero choice? Was it because of the execution or the items? It's for him to decide and then try to make the best choice possible based on that. I hope to see Blade against Creep Lord personally.
Wow, Todd would like to see a Crypt Lord. Mark that in your calendars, guys.
Well, I want to see the Creep Lord get obliterated by a Blade, yes.
Take that back. So, mark that in your calendars. We're moving into Northern Isles. Alright, Remo, master of the early game strategies and build orders, also master of balance of Warcraft 3. Tell me, what do we see?
Standard, dude. Just straight up standard. 120 obliterated Fly with Crypt Lord, but now against Lin he's playing purely Ted Fiends with a DK. Now, what does Lin think he's facing? This is a pretty good Crypt Lord map. It's not easy for the Farseer to power level with a Lightning Shield. There's no mercenaries here. It's not easy to counter expand. He's playing Blade Master. And the little bit of a coin toss goes in Lin's favor. If you're playing against standard DK Fiends, you want to have a Blade Master in the tier 3 style. If you're playing against Crypt Lord Fast Expansion, you probably want to have Farseer. And yeah, there's absolutely some mind games going on nowadays, but Lin seems to be having the perfect reads.
They know each other for a long time, of course. They faced each other first as rivals, and then they teamed up as ELL alongside Lawlight and 1WGTL together. That must mean they shared a lot of strategies together, and that's, of course, a special bond that you carry. And now they're continuing to fight under the ELL banner at WCG as well. So, little special thing here, of course, Marketplace. Always good for a Blade Master, so having a low damage Blade Master is almost impossible on Northern Isles, and especially Lin. Was it him or Fly that we've seen with plus 4T Blade Master just last week?
Oh yeah, absolutely possible here. A lot of creeps to go around, a lot of items for the Orc triple hero to find, which is why it surprised me so much to see Lin veto it earlier. Well, Fly, of course, I mean. 120 here, going for the standard creep route. Double green is level 2. Blade Master going for an item hunt. Starting off with the ring, not the greatest for him. For the TC later on could be nice, but inventory space is going to be limited. Maybe he's going to have to sell it at some point. I'm sure he's going to take a look in the marketplace what we have. What we have here, Slippers, is very nice indeed.
Okay, starts off with good damage here. Claws for the DK, Slippers on the other side. It's probably gonna again be a little treasure hunt, a little PvE before we have the tier 3. No one really wants to fight. They both want to dodge each other. You want to miss the Shadow Hunter power spike. On the other side, you don't want to face an early Lich with Frost Armor. And then you want to miss, or you want to level the Shadow Hunter. You want to level the TC a little bit. So, little skirmishes, yes. Big early fights, rather no.
Lin trying to be aggressive here early. Would ideally like to steal camps away. Remember map 1? He was able to steal the whole merchant away from the enemy side. That was a great play by him. And definitely a bit of a mistake by 120. This Blade Master still has the same goal as last game. Slow down the DK, force a bit of coils, maybe do some damage. And get level 3 if you can fairly fast. 120 went far away from the Murloc Flesh Eater over here. Honestly, should have been able to steal that last hit potentially with a coil. It's a bit more experience for the Blade. Close now to level 2. Orcs will oftentimes try to steal the Ogre Magi camp away, or at least the item from the enemy side, meaning either at the natural or over at the Tuskars. So 120 has to be mindful of that.
Replenishment potion. This means he can tank a little more. With that, getting level 2. Critical strike unlocked for Lin. Tier 2 techs are about to finish. And then where does this go? There's still the special possibility of the Banshee push. I think you told me it's kind of a strategy that works on all, like on the lowest levels. So hard to counter for mediocre players. 120 heard that probably and that, oh, does work on the highest level as well. Let me show you. Especially on this map. I've seen it 3 times already.
Players' forces are under attack.
But rather with an expansion backup, so you skip the tier 3 and then just mass.
Blade Master again trying to come in and slow down this DK, but the thing is, with that move, he does just slow down the DK. He also slows down himself as tier 2 is approaching and the Shadow Hunter is coming out. The Grunts retreat back to help creeping with the second hero. The Blade Master just barely was able to reach level 2. And with that in mind, I think this is a good early game for 120.
A player's forces
Okay.
are under attack.
Movement is alright. Separates the blade from his next target. Tier 3 immediately queued. Beastery 4. The Raiders and then the Shadow Hunter 4. The Hex. Everything standard. Everything very standard so far. And then it's a little bit about items and a lot about movement and micro.
That Skeleton Scout dude with 9 HP, finding the Grunts across the map. And with that, 120 knows he's absolutely safe to take the natural. Blade Master could steal the Magi. Would take quite a bit of damage on himself, but this is the strength of a Blade Master early. If you're left alone, you can snipe items like these, and it's very hard for the Undead to perfectly keep tabs on everything. Big consumable for him. Scroll of the Beast, one of the worst ones, but he's going to have another chance with the Shadow across the map, taking the same camp. He's going to get level 2 right away.
Would have been amazing for the Undead, or very good for the Undead. Because there's a very, very late dispel for the Orc and 25% damage boost. It's hard to counter, to be honest. Shadow Hunter went of mana stealing. Not bad. Against the DK, that's mispositioned a little, but that shouldn't really happen. So, will the Lich power up? No, it's not only about the Blade Master's damage, not only about the fancy, flashy, red, big numbers. It's also about the Super Lich.
Great scout by the Acolyte in the middle. Lin doesn't know where his opponent is. He takes the risk and wants to go for the Merchant. 120 cannot allow this for free. And he is coming in for the disruption. Shadowhunter has Hex and Heal Wave. And with that, this item and last hit should go to him. Nice Hex coming in. But as a chicken, you can still steal the item if you're fast enough. And he gets it! Sobi Mask for the DK. Picked up from Animal Form.
Oh man, this chicken deserves some golden footprints after this little steal here. Usually we call it the Magpie. Maybe we have to rename it.
Don't give ideas to Blizzard.
The animal world works a little different here, apparently. So, one of the middle camps gone. Marketplace still left. Who's gonna reach these power spikes earlier? Tier 3, done. Destroyer form will be queued. Burrow immediately. We move back to get the orb, but levels aren't really there yet. We still lack the level 3 for the DK. But we also lack the level 3 for the Shadowhunter, so things are kind of even.
Yeah, the DK is going to get the level 3 here with the scraps of the camp. The Lich is level 2. Some, the creeps were fought over. Nothing's been killed yet. This is like a standard Orc game. This is 50-50 right now. Both have what they need. Question is, what will we see from here on out? Destroyers? Banshees? Lich? Dark Ranger? It's a Spirit Tower for 120. It looks like he's expecting Bad Rider harass, maybe? Because he didn't see a Raider yet, but, well, that's not the case.
I haven't seen that in forever. Since Infi tried it against Happy and that was shut down after, like, being successful one time. Book of the Dead here.
Almost stole it with the blade. That was
I was a little unsure.
Marketplace, by the way, we have Claws. We have a Mantle. Those are the best budget items. No big auras in yet.
Yeah, Mantle and Claw would be great, but do you really have
Forces are under attack.
the necessary spare money to go for the items now? As you need to power up to 50, maybe some upgrades. They might scale a little better. Kisi pretty tanky. Still, I was about to say, still holding on to the Scroll of the Beast. A big creeping fiesta. No one wants to touch anyone so far. No one feels really safe.
And I think Lin is fine with that. It's always the most scary when you're forced to fight with low levels. 120 could try to force a fight now, but instead he's taking one corner of the map. It's pretty likely that we're going to split corners now. 120 gets bottom right and Lin gets top left. And 120 is satisfied to do this because he knows he's got the better corner by a little bit, because over in the north, the Arachnithids has already been taken out. And then we're going to see the red camp drops. And those can be very impactful.
Very impactful can also be a cloth +9, Remo. That was the drop at the lab. There is a tower. The sentry ward sees it immediately. 120 has to clean up the red spot first, though. Then he can shut it down immediately. He's in a decent position. Must know that he's giving up the other red spot to Lin. Hood of Cunning. Not the greatest if you want an aura. We got the Headhunter upgrade. We got the Kodo upgrade. What's the reward here? My Intor Reaver still up for grabs.
Khadga's Pipe and Unholy Aura the best, but also Claws really good. Oh, he's min-maxing the experience on the TC. Very nice. Look how close he gets to level 3.
Wow.
Medallion for the TC is definitely good. Not amazing, though. Fair drops between the two.
Expo bottom right. Expo from Lin. Shut down. What's the next step? Is there gonna be a brawl? Does anyone want to claim shop control? We do have an Invo Potion on the Lich. That's important. Naked Dark Ranger. Blade Master in the middle now. He's going on a hunt with Orb of Lightning.
He's absolutely got respectable damage. 120 wants to grab the last bit of experience. Kind of surprised he's not staying on the right, where he could still get the lab, and with that also defend his expansion. The downside of this orc build is, unless you use the Blade Master, there's not much you can scout with, easily. So he still is unaware of his expansion down there.
Yeah, Witch Doctor's not really a possibility if you don't have a Lutch. Or a hut, I guess. Does he need a walker transition? Banshees are coming.
Yeah, he definitely needs walkers. Tiny Great Hall finished. Okay, we have an expansion, but it's going to be 2 base very soon. 1 grunt. Is it even worth to try to heal wave that? I suppose not. It would die anyways.
Can afford that.
Zero ready for the fight. DK getting hexed right away. Focus onto him. Silence though on the TC. Can't stomp right now. Lots of damage on this DK. Getting pressured with a coil also. Book of the Dead being summoned. It looks like Lin isn't ready for this fight. The Book of the Dead here being very distractive indeed. The 2 grunts in the middle gonna get taken out very fast. They die so quickly. Blade Master can't even connect. He needs to go for the statues in the back. The Blade Master's uptime really not the best. Also no speed scroll. Lin seems to be caught totally off guard by this engagement, despite the fact that the grunt died early. Here comes a nice stomp now. It's level 3 TC. That's a good level up for him. Lich getting focused. Nice hex. Trying to go for the hero kill. Lin has already given up on this fight. He's trying to salvage it by getting a hero, but he won't be able to. Thanks to the frost armor, the Lich does survive right there. Boros also coming in. Lin losing way too much supply. He's getting destroyed in this fight. 41 supply only left for the orc. He's only got the heroes and the Kodos. And look at all these skeletons, man. There's no way Lin will win this. He has to run back to his main. Tucked between his legs is the tail. Absolutely no chance in this battle.
Wow, all of a sudden 120 just explodes. It's like a Power Ranger morphing. And yeah, the Necromancer, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's like 12, 11 skeletons and more coming on the left-hand side as the Dark Ranger leveled up to level 3, level 2 skeletons now. This tiny Great Hall is gone, while there's a second base for 120.
You know, playing on this level, you can't afford to start the fight off trying to go for a hero kill with Hex and Ensnare commitment. If that doesn't work, which it doesn't in this case, the fight is instantly lost. And Lin now miles and miles behind. This, from this point onward, should be pretty easy for 120 to close out, but that is also where overconfidence can come in. 120 must make sure he doesn't fall into that trap. Goes over to the marketplace. He's browsing the goods. What do we have? Ho, ho, ho. There's a Khadga's Pipe in there, for which now he has the money. Doesn't buy, though. Never mind.
There's still no solution to the Banshees, is there? There's absolutely no answer. There's gonna be curse, and there is curse and mischances. The Banshee's a little mispositioned, so if you take them out, then of course that's the best solution possible. Nova hits big time on the Raiders. There's not much crowd control anymore. And they're taken out.
Yeah, Len might be able to find some kills over here. Kodos, I think, haven't gotten a single Devour yet this game, or close to it. Focus now on the TC. Could break out of it with an invul. DK in trouble. No Death Pact on him. Risky choice by 120 not to go for the safety Death Pact. With that, the DK will always be in danger. Lich also getting focused. Heal Potion was there. Coil was there. Lich is still safe. And Lin is quickly running out of mana and running out of chances.
Ooh, Coil arrives. Backstab. If there was a critical strike, Lich might be... This is a little reminiscent of Foggy versus Happy when... At one point, you really tried to get rid of that Lich, but no chance! It's the lead for 1-2-0, and with that, match points.
And that was a sick timing here on that expansion. As it finished, Lin started mining from it, and 1-2-0 was like, I'm ready. I broke up keep before you. I got strong heroes. I'm gonna fight now. Lands a perfect silence on that Torrent Chieftain, who was zoned out of the fight for like the longest time, and it just feels like in those fights, we're almost watching, like, it's not even Undead against Orc, it's like another race, almost entirely. Like, the Frost Armor are perfect. It feels like Orc has such a hard time fighting against this in a matchup that historically, Orcs have been doing pretty well in. They were even considered favorite for such a long time, but in 1-2-0's hands, Undead just looks so damn strong here in this situation. It's insane.
And I think here we saw for once Lin's non-top shape being displayed. It's not easy to micro well in the late game. There's lots of things to do, but there are a few tricks which you always want to go for usually. Pop the speed scroll, run in with the stomp, Kodos devour the stunned fiends. The Blade Master goes into the back, takes out the statues, heal wave on top, maybe some walkers, but that's a stylistic choice. But focusing on the DK, who's level 4, is not the right call. That was a little disappointing, honestly, in terms of late game execution by Lin.
Yeah, not having any Dispel against the Book of the Dead is always very tricky as well. Like, Book of the Dead is pretty strong these days. But yeah, 1-2-0 is looking insanely strong right now. Like, he's playing on another level, and it's really showing.
Lin is making a mistake, and 1-0 breaks his neck on Northern Isles. Match points, championship points. Can Lin take this full distance? In 3 minutes, we're going to get an answer. 2-1. Match points 1-0 here at DreamHack Fall Asia. This is the question, right? What race is going to dominate the fall? We had Happy winning in Europe. We had Hitman winning in the Americas. Can 1-0 make it a 2-1 for the Undead? Can Lin strike back? Is the Blade Master broken now?
Well, I mean, last game was like a very specific type of game. They were social distancing, they were creeping on one side, they were rarely ever meeting, you know, they were wearing their masks at the merchant when that happened. This time, maybe we see a little bit more chaos and more action. You know, it's a little bit more cluttered together on Echo Isle. You usually clash for the center, maybe the camps a little more. There is more harass going on. So I expect a different type of game. Probably similar builds, unless 1-0. 1-0, when he's up a game or two, sometimes we see him bring out different build orders. So maybe a chance to see the Crypt Lord. Let's find out.
I am maximum curious. Is this going to be a Crypt Lord, or don't you just not play it against Lin? Gonna get an answer here in a bit. We have arrived, Remo. This is championship points for the man in the upper left. This is championship points for 1-0. Is it time to switch up the strategy for his opponent, or does he still have faith in the blade? In the upper right, it's Lin.
Ghouls, Expo, Crypt Lord. That's certainly what it's looking like here so far. 1-0 in the past has tried to play this strategy also with DK and even with Dreadlord. But CL, Crypt Lord, seems the best by far for the fast expansion play. But it's 1-0. It is the DK.
Okay. Interesting. On the other side, it's a Blade Master once again. Do you have any idea how he makes his decisions? Based on what?
I do not, and I would love to know. Why? Why is he spamming Crypt Lord against Fly? Even on AZ. I mean, he had a good reason for AZ. He was expecting Farseer, Lightning Shield, and so on. But why is it purely DK? Would love to know. Maybe we're gonna have a chance to ask him later. Acolyte clearing the path, slaughtering the critters, paving the way for the DK and the skeletons for the expansion to come up. Blade Master's gonna start with one clause at the beginning and then move across. Question is that going to be fast enough to do anything about the fast expansion? Because 1-0 has been playing this strat so much on this map. Honestly, it's the #1 strat you should expect from 1-0 on Expo.
Okay, Claws of course would help a lot. Circlet would help a lot. Circlet he gets. And first blood drawn as the critter dies. 3 ghouls, a couple of skeletons. Here we go. You don't even need beetles to do this. Tier 1 expansions by Undead. It is possible now. In this day and age. We got a tier 2 tech by Lin. How can he break this? How much damage can he do? The big ogre is gone already. Not much to steal here. Lin of course knows it. Doesn't want to move across the entire map. So he moves to the middle. Buys himself gloves of haste. And takes out the ogre magi.
1-0 did not unsummon his altar, by the way. So it's going to take a little bit longer. Getting up this haunted. So the Blade Master definitely has a window to cancel this one. The good thing also about not facing Crypt Lord is you don't have to be afraid of Impale Surround.
A player's forces are under attack.
But once the narrow is up especially, it's not going to be so easy.
Right. Claws for the DK. Is immediately going for the narrow. Blade Master's here, but already at 50%. A tiny bit too late for the last hit. But should be able to cancel this at least once.
Wait a minute.
Ooh, is he dead? Is he pulling a fly? Reveal! Oh, he's just barely above the threshold.
Okay, that coil didn't seem to do much, but, well, sign of dominance, I suppose.
Drops
Can
the
he
circle.
cancel it again? He's still got the speed scroll. He's healing up.
Got the second
Look at the
circlet.
skeleton. And now, how good is your game intuition? Fly, or Lin in this case. How well can he estimate whether it would be enough or not? He's not gonna try. Not gonna try to get the cancel.
Maybe he sees the Narup is up and he doesn't trust his attack speed despite the gloves of haste. Understandably so. Tier 2 is about to finish,
Players' forces
but that's
are
a
under
big timer. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Lin is going for another item, a little bit more experience that will slow down a potential Lich. But shouldn't give him the firepower to deal with his expansion anymore.
Ooh, Blade Master looking really strong. And it wouldn't be Lin on Echo Isles if he wasn't playing TC second. Once again, gonna try to make Torn Chieftain his second hero. He showed that already very recently against... who was that? I think it was WFZ or someone, but it was a very different game. Not against an Undead Fast expansion, but rather against Undead Standard. Oh, Blade takes out one Acolyte. It's very annoying for 1-2-0. In fact, he's not fully mining now because of this. The tech has already started.
Alright. It's of course still a big economy lead in the gold per minute department. Can go for Necropolis. But Blade Master harass continues, and Lin realizing this. Hey, you're attacking. Hey, there's no second Necropolis. You might have a haunted gold mine, but that doesn't give you anything if you don't have Acolytes.
And he's gonna pop that speed scroll. Without the speed scroll, he can't kill any of these.
Here we go. 3 grunts moving away immediately. But 1-2-0 saving all of them, except the initial one. TC second.
Okay.
TC second Expo again.
Seemed like a bit of wasted time here. Blade Master wasn't creeping. I guess neither was the DK, but the thing is, 1-2-0 with going for mass soon. He doesn't have to rely on his units so much. Second crypt coming. Is that for just fiends, or might we see something crazy here? Frenzy ghouls or Gargs are an option. With 1-2-0, everything's an option.
Like, even Necromancer push is an option with them. I would say that it's just fiends as we go into the first fiend now in the production. But yeah, should be standard then. No craziness anymore. This is not a group stage. This is a grand final. They both want their 3rd title this year.
Oh, the skeleton getting stomped. That's again a very suspicious move, but worth it. It is the level up for the aura. And 1-2-0 not looking to cancel that expansion. He's very likely expecting the counter Expo, but he's allowing it.
1-2-0 is finding some openings for more creeping that Lin can't really contest. That's very interesting here.
A player's forces are under attack.
And tier 2 is done. More fiends. Doesn't move them out on the map, so the Blade Master can't catch them. Got the expansion confirmed. Can he really do something about it at the moment as he's still kind of catching up in tech?
Still a 5th Acolyte missing. Todd was getting triggered, but now finally being made.
TC is creeping the mercenary camp. Got another claw for the blade. He will be pretty powerful. Double gloves, double circlet, double claw.
I'm so surprised 1-2-0 isn't trying even to cancel the expansion. But now also the difficult choice for Lin is he going to push me early? Do I need to mass on tier 2? Or is he going to give me time, in which case I want to go tier 3? Both of these choices could easily be the wrong one.
Super tough to read. And that's the new flavor of Warcraft 3, right? It's not only about small adjustments to creep routes and about small adjustments in execution. It's a lot about tactical diversity these days. Double claw for the DK as well. Happy for the Lich. But yeah, he's pushing, or at least a little bit of a distraction push to keep 1-2-0 busy on the left-hand side of things.
Yeah, TC is going to reach level 3 here very, very soon.
Temple. He's not tech. Oh, he is teching tier 3. Still goes Temple. Early Banshees.
Frost Armor, protecting these units as best as he can. Very good attack here by Lin, realizing the mass of Undead hasn't come online yet. This is where he might be able to find a lot of kills, but then again, against Frost Armor, thought that he's the Blade Master in trouble. Coil coming through, 8 HP, Fiend shot. Oh my god. It's following the Blade Master, but it's not enough damage.
Oh,
Blademaster out of this fight, though.
Yeah, TC has to fight on his own. The Stomp was great, but how does he connect? The Frost Armor is dictating this fight right now. Kodobeast comes in, maybe for a Munchie. One Fiend falls, another Stomp with a triple hit. This Fiend is gone, this Fiend is gone, this Raider escapes. The fight is decent for Lin. Blademaster didn't die, Raider didn't die, and he got 2 Fiends.
Yeah, great Stomp right there. What I was criticizing last map, that's the way you want to do it. Stomp multiple targets and one of those stunned fiends, you want to devour then with the Kodo. Good fight for Lin. And now he has confirmation. It is tier 3 Undead, which was likely anyways. Here now begins the tier 3 for Lin himself. But it's far away from finished.
Yeah. Can he use his time to already establish, like, Walker's Dispel? He knows that Banshees are coming. Does he just not care? Triple Claw, by the way, the one is a +9.
Yeah, Banshees are gonna be a massive help indeed. But still somewhat far away. However, Banshees don't take a long time. Just throw 3 Banshees into the army and basically you're all set. Without any training either.
We have an Invo Potion, we have a Heal Scroll for Lin. Only level 2 Blademaster, so the crits aren't that crazy, but crazy is the Stomp in the back. Blademaster, interestingly, is not attacking the statues. He's also very, very hurt. Without healing, of course, there's no Shadow Hunter and needs potions. And to be careful. Uh-oh! Surround almost. Coils execute a lot. 1 Raider, 1 Grunt, but the heroes are safe.
1-0. He predicted a 3-1, didn't he?
He did.
It's not looking too bad right now for just that. 1-0, 55 supply. He's got the tier 3 advantage, which is a massive one. Especially the third hero and the Orb of Lightning missing for Lin. Very painful. Towards the tavern, third hero choice is the Pit Lord, not the Dark Ranger. No control against the Stomp, but good damage mitigation from Howl of Terror.
It's crazy damage mitigation now. We got Howl, we got Curse, and we got Frost Armor. Like, what's supposed to do damage? Of course, if you look into the Blademaster's inventory, then that's gonna be a ton of damage. But with Howl and all these spells, not too sure if that's working out. In my opinion, Lin needs the spell, but who am I to question him? 1-0 is pulling ghouls, getting banshees, getting more fiends. It's a powerful 60 supply army.
1,000 gold for Lin. He's not spending it.
Waiting for tier 3. But, like, it's gonna be an orb. Kodo upgrade. What else? Shadowhunter probably. But that's
He's trying to go for the hit and run, for the distraction, to force 1-0 back. But 1-0 is in position first. Hits the expansion where there's no reinforced defenses, which means this burrow may as well be made of paper. Gonna fall right away. Can Lin force his opponent back?
Is this the push?
He's only got 2 raiders. This is not that scary.
Is this the push for the championship? A lot of damage done. We do have a staff. Fakes it. But of course... Oh, Lin fell for it! He TP'd out. It's only the staff. And this is
Rare
all...
to see Undeads have the staff in this kind of a game, but here now, that keeps 1-0's main safe, and he's taking out the enemy expansion at the same time. Lin's still only 51 supply. This Undead 70 supply is just hitting too fast.
Oh, wow. After 17 years of Warcraft, still falling to a staff trick. I think Lin wanted to go for the left-hand side again and then decides differently. This expansion is gone and broken. Is it the same for Lin as a whole?
This Blademaster's gonna have to do some magic. But against the Banshees and Pit Lord, it's hard to rely on the first hero for the Orc. Do we have a Shadowhunter coming? Yes, we do.
It's out. Tiny Great Hall as well. The damage that he dealt to 1-0 space never made up for that, right? No. What even...
A player's forces are under attack.
What even happened in the main? Like a little bit of damage on the Black Citadel, but that's kind of it.
Yeah, honestly, he basically got nothing done. Didn't have enough raiders for that. Didn't have enough healing for that. He's got headhunters, by the way. This is a 50
is he
supply
canceling
army.
the Tiny Great Hall? We've seen this one before. It was the Ting Warcraft Invitational Last Refuge that blew my mind that this is even possible. So much damage. Lin trying to hold Expo down to 50%. Is this the defense for the tournament? Of the tournament?
TC coming in. Stomp connects decently well, but the Fiends in the back still firing away. That is the source of damage. Pit Lord in the front line, very aggressive in the middle of everything, but of course that's his role. He is the tank. Fiend focus fire is just so strong. The Shadowhunter is trying to do his best to hold on with the healing, but it's not level 2 heal wave, it's only level 1. And Wanted is chewing through these defenses, through this defense, I should say, of these units easily. Surrounding the Pit Lord, he reached level 2 now, but he is so damn tanky with the Frost Armor, with the coils coming in. And there's no hexes to prevent these coils either. TC now in trouble himself with the invul. He is safe for a little bit. DK would even transfer this invul, by the way, this time. Pit Lord still does not fall. How much damage is he putting into this Pit Lord? In the end, it is just not enough. Well, actually it is, with the Storm coming in, with more focus fire, but the Blade Master as well comes to an end. The right clicks are enough. GG is called. 1-0 gets the win here, taking out the 2 best orcs in the world to become our DreamHack Fall champion.